poorly about, how to treat women. That's not a crime. That's not what these men are being, charged with. They're being charged with the most horrendous crimes known in humanity. Now, I've been told I can't say the R word, so I'll say they've been charged with the worst crimes of humanity, hurting children and hurting women, hurting the vulnerable. This has happened because there have been so many corrupt women that have weaponized and used and abused the legal system for their own financial, social, and psychotic means. And the only way that we can, I guess, overcome this as a world, as a planet, as a country, is to have people like Robert speak their truth. And for Robert and other men like him that have gone through this to come together and say, we're not going to accept this. This isn't who we were. This isn't who we are. We have to change this, because we cannot set a precedence where this happens for our children, for the future generations, for our loved ones and other men and other young boys coming up. And it will happen to women too. This is the thing. We think that it's just going to happen to men, because it has been happening to men. But women don't know that it can happen to them too. That the same women that have been accusing men, that are out here standing and stampeding and calling for men to be arrested that they don't even know, whose stories they don't know, whose defense they don't know, the women they don't know accusing these men, they don't know these women from a bar of soap. They don't know them. And that's the problem. They're advocating recklessly, carelessly, and without any research at all. I haven't spoken on all of this for so long. It's just been such a heartbreaking experience for me. I've had to really knuckle down and do the work that I needed to get done to free my partner and to free Robert from having to have these charges hang on his name. And I said to Robert, some time ago, unfortunately, people have tried to hijack his cause and people have tried to take, my place in his life. And that's the problem. You can't put somebody like Joycelyn Savage in my place. Not only is she a demonic character, she's somebody with a really dark soul, because she has lied and she has kept the truth of Robert's innocence from the world. I don't know if people realize how serious it is. It's not jealousy why I talk about her. It's absolute anger, absolute shock and horror that a woman or a person could keep the innocence of another human being secret or to themselves because they want to be perceived as their partner, as their girlfriend. They want to deceive the world for financial, for social gain, because that's all they know. She comes from the Savage family. What would you expect? But she kept secret that Azriel Clary had never been with Robert, that she had never been with Robert in her life. They were interns, buying coffees, running for snacks, doing errands, walking his dog. That's what they did. They didn't live with him, never in their lives. They were put in his condo when he was in prison. And I've written about that, about the squatters that we had to get kicked out. Azriel Clary and Joycelyn Savage. And we had to maneuver that around his attorney's lies. We had to work around the fact that they were convinced in their heads that they were his girlfriends because his attorneys were so negligent and inept, so shoddy, reckless and careless, didn't care about Robert, didn't care about the truth, didn't care about clearing his name. They just wanted to be attached to R. Kelly as much as the fans did, as much as anybody else did. And when I say fans, I'm not talking about collectively. There are some of you that don't care about, getting to Robert, but a majority I've had to come across. All I hear and see is this: I need to get to Robert any way I can. I need him to see me. I need for him to acknowledge me. I need to get him to call me. there is this nature, this like demonic activity within human beings to objectify Robert as this person that they need to get to, because somehow he's going to make their lives better. Somehow by saying that they know R. Kelly, or that they've spoken to Robert, that they're going to win points with people. They're going to win followers. You might get those followers, I'm telling you, today, but tomorrow they'll be gone. They're not here for you. They're here for Robert. They're looking for anything that they can find about him, not you. They don't care about your platform. They don't care about your music. They don't care about what you have to say. They don't care. They're looking for anything to do with Robert. And if you're going to trick them, I don't care if you've got 1 million followers, and there is an account out there that has a lot of followers, a lot of Robert's fans, and started that from misleading and dishonesty, saying that he was Robert's godson. There's not one person, I can't seem to find any account that's not in some way trying to gather attention for themselves and away from the truth, which is what I've been trying to put out. And you know, yesterday something happened that I'm not going to get into at all, because it's not, I'm not going to defend myself. It's just insane. The Bible says, do not argue with fools, because nobody will know the difference. And I'm not going to argue with this fool, because I've been saying the same thing since I came online. But then I put it in a blog and I wrote it out so clearly. I put titles and I put evidence and I put it all there for people to read, because I didn't want people to come back to me. I created this platform to give Robert and I a voice, but it was mostly for Robert, because it's his story that is being convoluted and misconstrued. You know, my book that's coming out, Love Through Fire, has been my journey before Robert and with Robert, and how we came to be and everything we've been through. You know, and it's nothing to do with profit. My book will not be released until Robert reads it, you know, and I know that some of you may wonder how we've got technology now. Robert has dyslexia, yes, but we have so many reading apps that can be used to help him, so don't worry about that, even my blog. But something happened yesterday. I was trying to explain. I'm not going to get into all of that, because I realized, you know, that my education has not been wasted. Like I am highly educated. That's undeniable. I've done so many different careers and paths. But more than that, I'm nobody's fool. And you know, the one thing I don't tolerate is people defaming me and my character. I won't tolerate it from anybody, not even. I was about to post the article yesterday about Joycelyn Savage and what happened that led to all of this. That she is more guilty of causing this than Azriel Clary. It's not defamation. You can go and look on YouTube and you can watch the video of her lying to her family that Robert and her were together. That Robert and her, and then in that same video admitting that she was lying. How many lies has she told? Not only did she admit in that same video that she was lying about Robert and her being together, and her family were feeding off it and they videoed it. She said that she was with another woman with Robert. She lives in fantasy land like Azriel Clary, like Geronda Pace, like, you know, Asante McGee, like all of these frauds and fakes, these women that claim to be with Robert never were. It's just incredible. And it's incredible that I have been attacked for trying to tell his truth, but these people are gathering his followers and supporters and fans under the false pretense of being godsons and cousins and, you know, this person and that person, but not one of them has referenced my blog for the truth, and they claim that they want Robert free. You all have to wake up to this. I'm no preacher, but listen to what I'm saying.